on the News Channel 5 network. This is the plus side of Nashville.
Hi everybody, I'm Tawanda Coleman and welcome to the plus side of Nashville. You know, a wise man by the name of Denzel Washington once said, "Show me a successful individual and I will show you someone who had real positive influences in his or her life, a mentor." We're going to be talking about the importance of mentoring with a mentor to many, the founder of Legacy Builders Generation, Tony Varnell. And Tony will join me along with a couple of his mentees in just a bit. I'm not sure if our first guest had a mentor or not, but she's certainly seen her share of success. During her 20-year career, Laquita Stribling has managed to work her way up from an entry-level associate with Randstad USA to senior vice president. She served on several local boards, and in July of 2018, Laquita became the first African-American to hold the position of district governor of Rotary International District 6760. And I'm so happy to have Laquita Stribling as my guest today. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So I just met you at a function a couple of years ago and was so impressed by you being introduced as the president of Rotary Club Nashville. And at the time, it surprised me because I had only known this as an organization that had predominantly middle-aged white males. And then there you were. So talk a little bit about how you came to be a part of the Rotary Club of Nashville and what the mission of the organization is all about.
Well, actually, my journey with Rotary started before I got to Nashville. I was in Jackson, Tennessee. I was working for Randstad, and I knew professionally and personally from a developmental standpoint that I really needed to surround myself with really strong leaders and people who could pour into me, people who I could learn from and build a professional network. And so as I did my research, I found that Rotary was the place to begin that journey for me. So I transferred from the Rotary Club of Jackson to the Rotary Club of Nashville when I moved here in 2002.
Is the organization primarily for those business leaders?
It is. Now, every club has a different personality, has a different flair, and so you know, who they prospect as new members may vary from club to club. The Rotary Club of Nashville typically are those business leaders that are very active and influential in the city of Nashville. If you go to a chamber function, if you go to hear the governor speak, if you go to Leadership Nashville functions, you will see a bunch of people who are members of the Rotary Club of Nashville.
Well, I know a part of what you all focus on is community service. You all do a lot in the community. Talk about some of the projects, if people may not be familiar with that Rotary's involved with.
Yes, and so it is about professional people coming together, identifying needs in local as well as international communities, and pooling our resources of time, treasure, and commitment to address those needs. And so again, the projects vary from club to club, and each club has their own list of priorities and of focus. But the Rotary Club of Nashville, what I will say we're probably most proud of is the work we've done in Watkins Park. And years ago when we began our work there, we've built 17 homes, we've put in international reading programs for the summer, we've done the pavilion and a lot of work in the park there. And what we found is we did some follow-up research to find that as a result of that, some of the impact we were able to help with was that crime rates decreased, graduation rates increased, and property values increased to such a point that we can't, you know, buy land to build more homes in that community. Most recently, we partnered with Casa Azafran and Metro Parks to put in a splash pad at the park there on Nolensville Road. In a couple weeks, the Brentwood Club is hosting a rodeo, and their proceeds go to help serve community needs. I've been amazed as I've visited 62 clubs this year of how much money people make on pancake breakfasts.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So pancake breakfasts are quite profitable.
And most of these clubs, that's a signature project for them. So the whole community looks forward to it, and they come out and support.
I'd love to hear how your life has changed going from a Rotary president of the Nashville Club to now being district governor. What's the biggest difference? Because you have a full-time job still.
Less sleep, maybe? Well, I will say there have been some amazing Rotarians who help and support. It's certainly been a lot more intensive in terms of time and focus, and spreading me a little thin, but I will say the value of friendships and relationships I've been able to build as a result of this journey has just been incredible.
How many people would you say are in the district? How many people are
There are
typical?
3,500 Rotarians,
Wow.
over 62 clubs from Dyersburg, Tennessee, all the way over to Lawrenceburg. Yeah.
Are you required to travel at all?
You're required to visit all the clubs in your district, and for me that was 62 clubs, 62 visits, 62 speeches, 62 meetings with boards of directors.
Now you're about to wrap up.
Yes.
Your tenure as the district governor. How is the governor, how are they chosen? How were you chosen and elected?
You have to be nominated. Your club has to endorse you, and then you interview for the position with a committee, a selection committee.
Wow, and they chose you, so that's quite an honor.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about mentors today, and as I had said earlier, that a lot of successful people have had mentors in their lives, and you told me you did, and that you're also a mentor. So you find time to mentor as well?
What's interesting about that is I have several mentors for different aspects of my personal and professional life, but I also mentor, but differently than maybe in the beginning of when I had a mentor. I get on Google Hangouts. I'm talking to various mentees as I'm driving from place to place. We FaceTime, we text, we email. So it's not all conventional as you would think of mentoring, where we go somewhere and sit down, although sometimes we do that, but a lot of times we just have to be creative because I have little buckets of time, and I don't mind sharing that with people who feel that I add some value in some way to what they're trying to do.
Well, of course you do. And then the fact that we're talking about mentoring young people, the Rotary Club has also an organization that's specifically for college students. And one of the ways that you were able to reach out to some local students was by enacting within our Nashville organization. Is it called the Rotaract?
Rotaract.
The Rotaract.
So Rotary has different, so Interact is for middle school and high schoolers. And there are some schools that have an Interact club. And then Rotaract is primarily from 18 to 24, typically you're a college student, but you don't necessarily have to be a college student. And I saw an opportunity to engage Fisk University. I'm doing my research and trying to validate it. I think it may be the only Rotaract club at an HBCU.
Wow.
And my being a product of an HBCU, it was very important to me to give them the opportunity to interact with our business leaders and our Rotary clubs, to serve alongside us. We go and speak as speakers for their meetings and help them in their service projects. And it is really a mentoring type relationship between our club and their club.
I love it. If someone wants to become a member of the Nashville Rotary Club, for example, how do you go about becoming a member?
Well, there are a number of ways. So specifically for the Rotary Club of Nashville, you can just go to nashvillerotary.org and you can connect with us there. Or if you go to rotary.org, you can express your interest, and that lead will be passed on to Rotary officials in your general area.
I think it's interesting that the title of the organization, Rotary,
yes,
came about when it was first established, and because you didn't have a permanent or just one place where you held your meetings, you rotated. Has that changed?
So Paul Harris is Rotary's founder. Back in 1905, he was a lawyer in Chicago. And he started it as an opportunity for business people to network and give back. And so it would rotate from one person's office to the other. Today, most clubs have a standing place where they meet. The Rotary Club of Nashville meets on Mondays at noon at the Wild Horse Saloon.
So every Monday at noon at the Wild Horse Saloon.
Yes, and if that club doesn't work for you, if it's not convenient, you can generally just Google that Rotary Club, like Rotary in Hendersonville, and you should be able to see the Rotary clubs and a lot of times the information of where they meet.
Okay.
Or you can go to Rotary 6760, which is the district website, and we have all the clubs and when and where they meet listed there.
Fantastic. Well, I just want to congratulate you for all that you've accomplished.
Well, thank you.
And giving up the governorship in just a few months. Yes. I know that whoever comes behind you is going to have some big shoes to fill, but I know you guys are doing wonderful, wonderful things. And thank you so much for being here today.
Well, thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. Well, research shows that mentoring has positive effects on young people in a variety of ways. And when we come back, we'll meet a man who's made it his life's mission to mentor and help young men before they head down the wrong path. Stay with us.